I'd like to welcome everybody to HBCU Coaches Corner. This is a very special edition of HBCU Coaches Corner. I am your host, Rocky Miller, along with the featured host, none other than the swag legend himself, Johnnie Cole. I apologize for those people who tuning in specifically for the Rattler and the FAMU report. We will not be having it today because the Rattler, Mr. Stephen Campbell, will not be with us today. But with that being said, show must go on, right, Coach?
That's right, man. As they say, one monkey don't stop a show.
Absolutely. And Coach, when you called me a couple, probably about a little more than a week ago, and you say, hey, we got to get this guy on. I got this is somebody that the culture and the HBCU people should know about. A very accomplished coach, someone with a vast history, and actually someone who you consider a friend, Coach. So with no further ado,
I would send some out to go get his staff, and they would hang out with us. And then when I went down to Mississippi, we would hang out as a staff. Of course, in those 60 minutes inside the lines, we were getting after it, but we always been friends, man. And that's kind of how I learned how the SWAC is and was during your Eddie Robinson days and your Marino Casson days, that, each one teach one, each one bring one. Of course, we're a little low on that right now, but with no further ado, the new head coach at Mississippi Delta Junior College, Ernest Jones.
Hey, what's going on, Coach Cole?
Man, look. I'm glad to see you back in that suit, baby. That's head coach suit.
Hey, man, I had to dig deep back in the closet to find me one, ice cold, but I found one. I found one here to come back down here to Mississippi and get an opportunity to be the head coach and try to pour into these young people. I'm very, very excited about it.
I know we talk a lot, Coach, all the time about getting back in that head job, man, and somehow, in some way, it don't matter how you get there. You know what I mean? Is that you're there now, you're in that seat, you belong in that seat, man. And I'm ecstatic for you. Now I got to come to Mississippi and put that on my travel to come down there to see my frat brother as well.
Yes, sir.
Do his thing.
I mean, it's truly a new day now. So it's a new day down here. My administration, I got a great administration, Coach Cole. They're backing me. They haven't said no to me yet. These kids are buying into what we're doing, putting together a great staff, all Division I coaches, people with that type of experience that would never come to a place like this if I were not here. And Ernest Jones may want to do something, may want to be somewhere, but he's driving this thing. But to be quite honest, 2 years ago, I was at Alabama A&M coaching the secondary, leading the special teams there. As I told you, my oldest son, he graduated from Ohio State University. He's out in Phoenix with the Phoenix Suns, 8 years out there with the Suns. We're so proud of him. But when my youngest son was a sophomore in high school, I was in Alabama, and I took him away from my wife, who stayed in Florida, because I live in Florida now, and brought my son to Alabama with me. And it was the first time I took him from her, and that bothered me. And I said that I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to take my son back to Florida, and I'm going to spend the next 2 years with my son to pour into him, to develop him, and to help him get to go to college. And he ended up being a top 100 player in the state of Florida. He's in college right now. My wife and I dropped him off about 2 weekends ago in Missouri. And just the weekend that we dropped him off, I'm talking to the head coach at that time, Coach Johnson, about this opportunity, because Terrell Buckley took the
circumstance to me that you said, I'm going to put my family first in the middle of what is, I would consider you being a position coach at the D1 level, a very successful coaching career, to put your family on the front burner and your coaching career on the back burner. How did you come to that decision, and what led to that?
Yes, sir. I tell people, my wife and I, we've moved 12 times. She's been to 12 different cities. She's been with me all over this country, supporting me and what I wanted to do. But my family told me at that time when I took my son away from her, you got to make a decision for your family, Coach. Ernest, Terrell, they call me all the different names that my family calls me. And they said, make a decision that's best for your family right now. And that was hard. you know, because I'm coaching and I didn't have to lead a game, but I said, you know what, I'm going to make this decision for my family. And if God can bless me with an opportunity in 2 years, I'll do that. And it's kind of funny now, Mississippi Delta is committed to me. They're committed to the staff. They're giving me all the resources that I need to be able to compete in this league.
Well, Coach, that's a very inspiring story. Because one of the things that Coach Cole has always explained to me is that once you step away from the game, there's no guarantee that you're going to get an invitation back in the game. Yeah. And so I think you seem to be very appreciative of this opportunity, and I wish you much success, Coach, in carrying that out. Coach Cole, I know you got something for him.
Let me say one thing before Coach Cole talks, and he can add to this, but it is that. But when you got some respect in this game and people know who you are and what you're about, you can always try to, you know, get back in the game. What's so hard is when you try to get into that PWI space and you try to get at that higher level. But with Coach Cole, I'll say this on air, but he's just like me. He's a guy that I admire in the same way that.
Man, you was on a trajectory. Probably to the NFL.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, had I stayed with Coach Kelly, and this is the gospel truth, I'd probably be a head coach in the NFL. You know, I was tracked as one of the top coaches in the country when I was going through this thing, you know, but, you know, life gives you those decisions. You know, at the time, before I got with Coach Kelly, I was with Coach Kelly, we was at Central Michigan University, and the president, the vice president at Central Michigan University became the head coach at my alma mater at Alcorn State University. And when he took that job at Alcorn, he immediately called me and asked me to come be the head football coach at Alcorn State University. So that's how I got down to Alcorn. But I'll tell you, true story, when I went in there and told Coach Kelly that I was going to leave and go back to Alcorn, he said, Coach, why you want to do that? What you want to do that? Because at the time, his agent was the guy helping me negotiate that contract. He said, Coach, I'll get you a max.
What would be your take on that?
Yeah, you know, I actually think that, you know, those schools are trying to look for that glitz and that glamour. You know, I don't take anything away from Deion Sanders and what Deion Sanders did. You know, but coaches like you and myself, we were doing that before he was doing that. You know, but it wasn't getting that kind of attention that he got out of it because he was in the NFL. And if you remember, you may not know this, Rocky, but Coach Cole does. I was the head coach at Morgan State, and then they wanted to go hire Tyrone Wheatley behind me because they wanted to go get an NFL guy he eventually left to go back to the NFL. I just think that they're looking at the wrong things, which in my opinion are dollar figures or what they think they're going to get for hiring those type of personalities. But there are great coaches out there who are good fundamental coaches who can motivate these young people to play at a very, very high level and are just as. Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? But it got to be about support.
That's right.
And, you know, I'm pretty sure you've already spoke highly of the support you have there. Are you seeing those same things that you could change down there, that you could make better?
I do. And I'll just tell you, it's just like even when I was to come back to here, and I'm not just trying to say that Mississippi Delta is doing this because I'm here, but I was at Alcorn. I was at Morgan. I'm talking about when I sat as a head coach. And it was always like, this isn't Cincinnati. This isn't UConn. This isn't Notre Dame. Like I was getting that like all the time. And I said, but those are still kids. Those are still the coaches. We still got to play the game. I'm just saying if you can invest into the program like this, that's how you can be successful. That's what winning is. So I came down here to Mississippi Delta, who's won 2 games in the last 4 years. And I'm saying, do you really want to win? Yes, I want to win. This is what you have to do. It's not always like
avid listener, and he says, you're right, Coach. Podcasters like Rocky think NFL playing experience means a player can coach and manage. If that were true, the NFL would hire nothing but former coaches. Here's my contention. When I, as a fan, coach, because that's what I am first, I'm a fan first. When I suggest that a school hire an NFL player is merely to gain interest, support, and infuse dollars into the program, right? That's why I advocate for that. Because anytime that I have a critique of an HBCU program, what does it go back to, Coach Cole? We don't have the funds to do this or that. And I'm saying whether those guys are figurehead coaches, CEO coaches, at LSU, as a Notre Dame. If everybody was pulling in the same direction, you could have something similar on the HBCU level, in my opinion.
But Rocky, let me just add to that. At the same time, though, the difference, like I see what Coach Cole is saying, because it's bigger than that, though, Rocky. You have to be able to know how to recruit. You have to be able to know how to put a staff together. You have to be able to know how to go into these young people's homes and talk to them and talk to their parents and walk around this community. And a lot of time, you don't just get that because you was a former player. There's a lot that goes into coaching than just saying, I played this game at a very, very high level. You are knowledgeable of a skill technique and what it takes to get to that level. But all of those little things that you have to know to build a successful program, sustain, because it's not about winning a game. It's about building a program, something that'll still run when you walk away from it. And a lot of times you just gonna get the commercials and the money and the glitz and the glamour when you hire those guys.
I'm not saying nothing against these guys. We all had experience and backgrounds and stuff like that. So no, I don't think so. I don't think he would have done that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But again, Coach Prime is in another atmosphere. Let's say that, because we got to give him his credit. Right? That's right. We got to give him love. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I want to make sure I give him love. You know what I mean? But I guarantee you, though, he the coach against me, he wouldn't have dominated me because I dominated the league.
So
when I came
to compare anybody to Coach Prime. They call him Prime.
Right.
You know?
So I give him.
There's
I
a
give
bunch
him
of
love.
these coaches from back in the day that Broadway and Cole. Huh?
Yeah.
You talking about
No,
Cole?
Coach.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm just
no. I'm sorry. Just a little delay, Coach. My apologies. Go ahead, Coach.
SWAC. I think they got better players in the SWAC. You know, I just think that brand of football that's played in these southern states, the type of players that are attracted to these type of schools are just better than the players that's attracted to those schools going towards the Midwest. But at the end of the day, I'm a coach. I just think it's better coaches and it's better coaching in the SWAC than it is in the MEAC.
Yeah. Let's switch gears for a minute, Coach, because this is about you and Mississippi Delta today. Is it any, have you had enough time to try to evaluate your staff, or I mean not your staff but your players?
I have.
And with all that, tell us why, should some of our kids, if you know the players, and why should my kid come to junior college? And also we need to know about the new rule on junior colleges as well.
Absolutely. Why go to junior college? One, because it doesn't count. Your 5 feet, a bunch of those good things. We got a tackle out there, Emmanuel Cooks, about 6'5", 315 pounds. I'm saying you got Division I guys here in the building, and the Division I coaches are going to come see them. What we have to do is get these guys, because I've been in that space, graduated at the mid-year. They got a better chance to go to Division I if we can get them out at the semester. So we're pushing them to take the type of classes to graduate at the semester so that they can get an opportunity in Division I. Because I spent time in Division I coaches will miss on a kid if they can get him at the semester, because we get him in the spring and we get him in the summer versus waiting on a kid to try to pick him up late summer. Does that make sense? So understanding that stuff, I don't have to be NFL, glitz and glamour, this and that. I know that. And I'm going to pour that into this program, into these kids, to get them ready to go at the semester so that they can be attractive to Division I programs. Does that make sense?
Now, Coach, do they have to graduate or
stream on the off script channel and select the stream, the Rocky Miller stream? I want to thank you guys for watching on the off script channel, but we're going to continue to broadcast on the Rocky Miller channel with HBCU Coaches Corner. I want to thank you guys. You got 1 minute to go ahead and switch over. Once you switched over, go ahead and type 1, and we'll continue. Go ahead, Coach.
And subscribe.
Yes, please subscribe.
We got to sell some tickets. We got to make some money, Ernest.
Yeah, we definitely do, Coach. Coach, this is a tremendous interview. I know Coach Cole only said he only had you on for 30 minutes, Coach, but can you go a little longer?
Yes, sir.
With us, because, man, we got you on fire. You really dropping some knowledge. And as we go through this process with junior colleges, I think I think there's some value here at the junior college level that people are maybe missing or maybe
is obsolete. So here at Mississippi Delta, we're going to go after those guys. We're going after the 3 stars and the 2 stars and the 1 stars because they're going to be looking for homes when signing day is over. That's kind of what the landscape is right now. You better be a 5-star for sure and a legit 4-star, or it's going to be real tough on you.
Let me add.
Go ahead, Coach. I'm sorry.
No. I was just going to ask, Coach. I went to a junior college out of high school, Coach, and one thing I know about junior college is that once those guys completed their time in junior college, once they got to 4-year school, it was a no-brainer. They were gonna be able to go out there and perform, and not only on the field but also on the classroom, because that adjustment that you go through in junior college is such a culture shock that if a kid is able to stick with it,
the portal, my opinion.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I tell you, I was just thinking the same thing. Why now should I go to Mississippi Delta? I should go to Mississippi Delta because Ernest Jones, the head coach, have coached with some of the most powerful coaches around that's still in the game. And he has those contacts. And I'm pretty sure that you with those contacts, you'll reach out to Brian Kelly and these guys. And of course, they only could sign so many kids, that you now can do what? Okay, y'all can't get him, but won't you bring him here? I'm going to hold him here for you like a farm team. I know that's probably you thinking, and I don't know if I don't gave your secret away, but I know you the witch doctor. That's one thing. That's why you were able to coach at these higher places, because you were always good with student athletes.
Coach, I'll give you 2.
Let's talk about the money part of going to the junior college. Does the financial aid transfer? How does that work?
Absolutely. And one of the things that you have to do is you have to try to find Pell guys. Those are kids that qualify for Pell money so that you can help.
Can you break that down a little more, Coach?
Okay.
The Pell money?
Means basically in a way that people can understand it. Find a kid that can play that don't have a whole lot of revenue coming into their household. That makes sense? So maybe not a kid like you and me and Coach Rocky. So this kid can play, but there's not a lot of income coming in the household with his mother or father. The second thing you have to do is find a kid with great academics, because if they got great academics, they can get the academic money. And then the third kid is the kid whose parents got money, who can pay the bill. But the kids down here, they cut differently, Rocky. Again, they sweat differently. They just different in a way that you like when you put them out there on the football field. It's just a different kind of hungry, because they want to get out of the circumstance that they in right now. And the only way that they can do it is to play this game of football.
Yeah. Let me throw another thing out and just check it. Now, back in the day, they could only bring in at one time it was 8 to 10 out-of-state players. Is that still a standard in Mississippi JUCO, or has that changed as well?
No, it is. It's just the number has been raised to 15 now. 15 out-of-staters.
So they show enough got to show enough. They got to be the show enough, show enough.
You can't go out of state and get a kid that won't start for you. He has to.
A lot of our followers and our listeners and the people that watch this show weekly, they believe you make believers out of. Hey, Coach, obviously you can coach it. That's what your record said. But hey, you got them believing, Coach. You got them believing.
Yes, sir. We got them believing out here because the mantra is a new day. It's a new day.
Right.
It's a new day. It's a new day. And the administration, the players, and the community know that it's truly a new day down here in the Delta.
Yeah. Now, Coach, do you do anything off? Well, how long you been the head coach now? What, 2 weeks?
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So you really have you been able to get off campus yet, or you just gonna take it where it's at and then build as you go?
Yeah, I haven't been off campus yet. a lot of people are coming here to see me. How about this, Coach Cole? Oh man, he's gonna give me credit. Oh,
Junior college rosters are really thin, Coach.
yes,
Really
sir.
thin. How many of you guys gonna carry on your roster this year?
You can't. The limit is 65. You can only carry 65. So, and again, the institution has to support this. So, Coach Cole, Rocky, you could appreciate this. They've never carried more than 45 in the last 4 years at Mississippi Delta. I'm 100% coming out the gate with 65. I'm going to have my gun fully loaded.
Now, let me ask you this, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Because, when you're in these situations too, enrollment means a lot. Have they put a number on you, or you just said, well, look, I need to bring these many players in anyway? Because it's good for the school. When you bring in over 100 players that's going and helping paying bills, you can get those things like an extra bus.
That's right. And you giving me some of my secrets. The other coaches might start doing it, but I told you.
Portal, a kid that maybe let's say at Southern Miss, he's entered the portal. He's a junior, or not a junior. Maybe he's a freshman. He enters the portal. Nobody picks him up. Can you call him and bring him to Mississippi Delta?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We want to do that. We want that kid, and we're gonna tell that kid we'll get you back to Southern Miss, or we'll get you somewhere else. How do I know that? Because we're gonna pick up the phone and we're gonna tell somebody else that you're down here. They wouldn't have told them that at Southern Miss. We're gonna make the phone call down here, and they're gonna pick the phone up because of who's calling them. So that's what we're gonna tell them.
Because one of the things that people have always complained about these last couple of years of the transfer portal are kids are getting stuck in the portal. I keep hearing that term, getting stuck in the portal. And it seems like junior colleges now can add an opportunity for guys that are stuck in the portal. Who wanted to look?
Yeah, it is. But you got all those kids' names. No, I can't tell you why it's like that. You gotta have a membership and an ID. You gotta have something to look in the portal. You can't just Google portal right now and look in it. Unless it didn't change.
No, Coach. Well, I just thought the schools, academic institution would have access to it.
If they pay for it. Yeah, if they buy it, you can have access to it.
Coach, what are some of your goals that you've set for your program this year? Coming in, being in the seat 2 weeks, knowing that you'll have a game in about a month. What kind of realistic goals have you set for the program just in the 2 weeks you've been there?
The first realistic goal is that they go and compete in the classroom. We talk about competing. So the first goal is that they have to compete in everything we do, but it's in the classroom. I got 37 players with over.
Where you think you guys are talent-wise, and if you can make a run to the championship, of course we don't ever put that out. Where you think, and where do you think where some of the problems was, why they only won 2 games?
One of the things for us, and like I said, I think is my eyes and Coach Taylor, his eyes. We've been looking at Division I players. I've been looking at Division I players for 20 years, and Coach Taylor's been looking at them for 10 plus years, and nothing taken away from these teams. They play well. They're well coached. The top teams, but we're not seeing anything on tape that's scaring us. We see as we watch the tape, some missed tackles, some drop balls, some interceptions for touchdowns, a double move that beats a guy. We truly believe that if we can just get
to kill Glass, he was lighting it up. He was really lighting it up.
You heard what Coach Cole said about my quarterback that's on campus, didn't you?
So okay. So it's safe to say that the Mississippi Delta coaching staff is SWAC.
We think so. Yeah. I got all Division I coaches. Every one of my coaches coach Division I. Every one of them. They weren't high school coaches. They weren't rec coaches. They seen it. They done it. In fact, one of my assistant coaches played with LC Cole, which is Johnnie Cole's brother. He'll be down here coaching my linebackers, running my special team. So I can't wait till we get him on campus and let him pour into these young people. But we got some real dudes that's gonna be on.
Oh man, that's
I don't know if Coach Cole knew that. So, But yeah, LC
You
Cole sent me a great
you
recommendation.
trying to pull me out of retirement?
I told you, if you tell me you're gonna come, I'm gonna have to go have a talk with Coach Taylor.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.